With the 11th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, my Chicago Bears select Justin Fields, quarterback, Ohio State.
Oh!
Justin Fields is like every other quarterback prospect in this year's draft, wanting to be drafted by a team struggling to find their new franchise quarterback and become the next Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, or Tom Brady. It's the same way that Trevor Lawrence wants to succeed in Jacksonville, Zach Wilson in New York, and Trey Lance in San Francisco. But what comes with that hunger to succeed at the next level is the pressure. Every quarterback deals with the pressure of becoming the guy in different ways. Some rise to the occasion, while some fall. Well, recently it's been a lot of falling. Too much falling.
Trying to stay upright, and he trips.
These young bucks all have that pressure coming in some way, but for some reason, Fields is different. He isn't just trying to avoid being a number in a recently bad history of first-round quarterbacks like the rest. He may not know it now, but this former Buckeye and now Chicago Bear will soon learn that the legacy of two organizations falls in his hands. Columbus, Ohio. 8-time national champions, a college football powerhouse every year, home to legends like Archie Griffin, Eddie George, Orlando Pace, and Chris Carter. The horseshoe hasn't stopped bringing the stars of tomorrow, as the NFL is filled with former Buckeyes.
In recent weeks, here's a play made by the rookie, the stud Chase Young.
They will give it to Dobbins, and Dobbins will turn the corner, get the first down and more. Shaking a tackle and up the sideline. Inside the 30 and out of bounds close to the 20.
However, that love doesn't seem to transfer to the quarterbacks. I'm sorry, Buckeyes fans. You might want to look away. Since 2000, 11 Ohio State quarterbacks have started the season and led the season in passing. 7 of them have never been a starting quarterback in the NFL. Quickly, shout out to Terrell Pryor, because without him moving to wide receiver in the NFL, we wouldn't have been blessed with this all-time great soundbite by Adam Pac-Man Jones.
I know you talked about it, Adam.
Garbage.
What did that start with for you and Terrell?
Garbage.
As for the other 4, they never started a full season in the NFL, and the highest completion percentage out of all of them was 60.1%. The lowest being 46%. Now, not every quarterback was going to be the next great one, so let's focus on one name in particular. The one that stands out, Dwayne Haskins. At 6'4", 230 pounds, Haskins took over Columbus for 2 years by breaking records left and right. He holds the single season passing yards record at 4,831. The next closest guy is Joe Germain at 3,330. In single game passing yards, Haskins holds 6 of the top 10 games in program history. And in single season passing touchdowns, Haskins holds the record at 50 in 2018. Justin Fields just right behind him at 41. At that point, Dwayne Haskins was the best Ohio State quarterback we've seen in our lifetime. No, we're not counting Joe Burrow. He doesn't count. He belongs in LSU. I'm not getting into this. Despite the lack of mobility, Haskins was drafted 15th overall by the Washington football team. He made a huge impression in Washington by being supremely accurate to the other team. After 14 interceptions to just 12 touchdowns in 16 games over the span of 2 seasons, Haskins was benched multiple times, replaced by a one-legged Alex Smith, got caught having too much fun at the club, and is now the 3rd-string quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers. My point is, in 21 years of Ohio State quarterbacks, Dwayne Haskins has the best resume of them all. And even with him, they are 0-11 when it comes to making it in the NFL. Haskins was the best QB prospect to ever enter and leave Columbus. He still couldn't make it with the big boys. Ohio State has given the NFL so much great talent, and yet they have failed at quarterback, which leaves only Justin Fields, the best of both worlds. Can use his legs better than JT and can throw better than Haskins. He won't be the last exciting quarterback to come out of Ohio State, but if Fields can't make it, how could we ever trust another QB to come out of this program ever again? Which leads me to my next point. The Bears made a great move. Wait, not that one, that one. Trading up to a falling Fields in the 2021 NFL Draft was phenomenal. It was a great trade. But what if this doesn't pan out? Shall we take a trip down memory lane? Rex Grossman? Kyle Orton? Not that Orton, that one. The supermodel himself, Jay Cutler. Speaking of bad college program history with QBs, how about Matt Barkley out of USC? Mike Glennon? And of course, Mitchell Trubisky. That's 25 starting quarterbacks since 2000. All jokes aside, the Bears want to put an end to this nightmare, and it starts with drafting Justin Fields. Whether he starts week 1 or not is up for debate. All I know is this team still showed signs of progress last year, with tremendous offensive weapons and a physical defense. They still made the playoffs even with the backup quarterback of the Bills. Hope isn't all lost for Chicago fans. Fields brings that sense of promise in the future and a call to the fourth phase to, as rival Aaron Rodgers would say,
RELAX. Relax.
But this is it for the Bears organization. Patience for Ryan Pace is running thin, with a record of 42-54 since he arrived in 2015. Matt Nagy is in the hot seat with a record of 28-20, which doesn't seem so bad until you realize that this offense was bottom half of the league in almost every category last year. Jobs are on the line. Justin Fields might be the last major decision this staff will make together. Everything falls on Justin Fields to be the Chicago Bears franchise quarterback for the next decade. That's a lot for a 22-year-old kid from Georgia to handle. And we can't imagine what turmoil the organization would face if nothing comes out of another failed experiment with a quarterback. So this might be an over-exaggeration, but this isn't just another boom or bust quarterback draft pick. This is Justin Fields being the last hope for Ohio State quarterbacks and the Chicago Bears franchise. Justin Fields, you're officially on the clock.